honestly, it's really weird that companies, manufacturers look at stamping as like this hidden secret that they don't want to like let out and share. Yeah. And so it's extremely, important to me to be like, hey, if these are all things that I taught myself and learned, then it's only right to make it easier for someone else.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
thanks for having me here.
Welcome.
Super excited to share with you guys what we have today. This is the owner, the man, the myth, the legend, the hot stamp genius himself, Josh, the owner of AGL. We're going to start off with a little bit of just conversation. Why is disc golf a sport worth growing?
I mean, that's a great question. Ultimately, for myself, I have health issues, and disc golf was appealing to me growing up because I couldn't go play sports that most other kids were playing, like soccer or football. And what's amazing about it, it puts a magnifying scope on the fact that all walks of life are welcomed and accepted. I think it doesn't matter where your physical attributes lie.
Sure.
You're
It's
still able
accessible
to play a sport and get physical exertion, which is exercise, and getting people get their heart rates going, getting you outside in nature. I mean, there's a lot of benefits for it. So I see many reasons for it to grow. Yeah, that's
awesome.
why I've been a big supporter of it since day one when I found out about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you think, Zach?
Well, disc golf saved my life in a roundabout way. I was homeless and on drugs. As I got sober, I found another community of sober people in disc golf that pushed me and keep me the man I am today. 4.5 years strong.
Man.
What's up, man?
Sweet. Yeah, I think that hits on where I'm at with why I think it's worth growing is community. It's people. It's that third space, I think is a term I've heard before. Yeah. But it's a space that you can go and grow with people and get to know community. That's what it was for me. 5 years, moved out here, didn't know anybody, found this sport and was like, okay, this is fun. And then you get to share that wonder. It's like, who doesn't love a disc flying? If you're watching this, you probably do. So yeah, we're going to assume that. So great. I'll move on here to the next question.
Definitely love watching disc fly.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so we would love to know what inspired above ground level discs 12 years ago.
So I mean, I think it was just the fact that I would purchase a frisbee or a disc online and expect it to fly like the same mold or make and model that was in my bag that I was throwing for X amount of years. And when it didn't fly as such, it made me only want to go down that rabbit hole of like, why is that not happening? What can be done differently? And just learn more information about how that came to be. And so $20,000-$30,000 later, and we built an injection mold, and that was our first disc, the Cypress.
Okay, so what was the process from, say, inception, the first idea of AGL, to actually saying, okay, we're going to put down this money to make this injection mold happen so that we can produce my first disc?
Yeah, well, I mean, it started obviously with building a brand first. So, I mean, we had our logos on clothes and stamped it on other frisbees or other manufacturers' discs. And from there, we developed a footprint and clientele, a family that we grew, and, just the planting of the seed. We watered and nurtured and developed, and it turned into what it turned into. And so, with that plus investment coming out of my own pocket, we don't have any investors. I don't have rich parents. Like, my dad passed away young. My mom was a preschool autistic teacher here in California. So like we didn't have a lot of money growing up. So this was definitely all just, trial and error and hard work, putting it in and just trying to make it work. And
awesome.
Very thankful, where it came out. And it's not, I've learned to take that ego hat off. Like it wasn't me. It's on guys like Zack, and it's on guys like the family that really, grew the business into what it is now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Inspiring. Awesome. So what separates AGL from other manufacturers?
Maybe it's the fact that, first off, I don't watch anyone's social media or Instagram. I actively try not to be on it as much as possible. That's why we have Zack. No, I'm just kidding. And Sam. Sam does so much. Sam actually runs all of our Instagram, Facebook business accounts, Twitter, TikTok, you name it, all that stuff. Zack,
all that will be linked below, guys.
Great. And that's the business pages. Zack is taking on the YouTube, which is a whole other facet, and I'm sure you guys, anybody
Huge
that's
animal.
tried to go down the YouTube creator content, rabbit hole there, that's a lot to do. Even it was a lot for us, and so I'm very thankful to have Zack on the team and willing to take that on. And he's doing a great job. It's already, time has told that answer. So yeah, in the short amount of time he's done it. So yeah. So I think other than that, I think that we're real. I also think that the company, I say it many times, a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, how do I get on the team? And I say, well, it has nothing to do with me. Like, I don't pick the team. I don't pick the discs. I don't pick the names of the discs. I let our team do that. So like, our teams pick the teams.
Send the hate mail to me.
Send it all to Zack. And so I really wanted the company to stay player oriented and team focused. And so by doing that, we have the team members pick the captains, and then the captains really, for the next year, then the captains will pick those team members once applications come out. And so, and then in regards to discs and molding, I ask the team and I go, hey guys, what do you think we need to do next? An overstable mid or overstable fairway, whatever. And so then that's on me to work on that with our manufacturer right now, which is Gateway. And we've had a great relationship with them. After we left our, manufacturers to the north, we started working with Gateway, and it's been a night and day difference, and we've had great results since. So
awesome. Well, that brings perfect segue here. So why is U.S. source recycled plastic and foil important?
So first off, I don't think the foil is sourced here in America. I will be honest about that. We'll always be honest and forthright. So the plastic is sourced. We actually have a guy who we pay a lot of money to, and he goes all over the U.S. to try to find regrind or recycled plastic. So I mean, at one point, like, we've used the door handles from like a Chevy Tahoe or Suburban, I think it was, because of the actual polymer breakdown that it was. And you think if you're making 5 million cars, you even just take 1 million, right? And 10% of that, you have 100,000 parts that may go bad. So, these parts that they're not going to use get chunked to the garbage and end up in a landfill. Well, let's take that. If we know the exact breakdown of those polymers, we can take that, grind it up, and turn that into something else that is actually applicable and useful. So that's kind of where that came from. And so with the gentleman who is our plastic sorcerer, so to speak, we've been very lucky in I'm sorry, Florida, but Florida has a lot of waste, and so it's very wasteful. And so we've sourced quite a bit of the plastic from Florida. We did a clear, what they call glass or see-through. We did a clear run of discs where we actually used hospital tubing, recycled hospital tubing. Don't worry, we sterilized it. And so that's really cool that we're able to take products like that. We've done the outer casing of underwater sea cables, and we called it the deep plastic. And so that was really fun too, to be able to play with plastics like that. In Gateway, he's one of the few people who's not only willing, but like able to. Like, I don't know another manufacturer right now, and I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but I don't know of another manufacturer that's truly able to mix a high-end nylon with polyethylenes, so TPUs. And that's what we call our nylon mix, and Gateway's able to do that. And now we're mixing it even further and having our high flex mix, which we call the Boreal. So we'll have our premium plastic Alpine Tundra nylon Boreal high flex with a little bit of hemp in there, so we're taking even sustainable resources like hemp and mixing that in our plastics as well. I read a book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, from Jack Herer, and he talked about how Henry Ford even used hemp polymers in their first Model T Ford that was built in the fiberglass. And so I think it's amazing to me that if we're able to use and do stuff like that at our small level, because we're a small fish in the big pond there of disc golf manufacturers. I think any stats they just showed, how many manufacturers there are and how many discs that are coming out each year now.
Right.
So we have to acknowledge that. And if there are that many people coming out with that many frisbees or discs, that means that amount of plastic is getting used, and it makes me question where's their source material coming from, because I know where mine is.
Sure. That's fantastic. I think that's a mission worth supporting,
Try.
Absolutely.
Try, man. We definitely try. That's the goal,
So what about the disc golf community inspires you to serve?
Oh, man. I think, just the reactions and the feedback and the constant support that disc golfers have for one another, that's what motivates me to just kind of keep it going. I see, like, when I make a disc or a stamp and, I see someone, show that off on Facebook or Instagram, that they're proud to have that in their bag. I mean, it's truly an honor, to make that in their bag,
Right.
and then you see them make an ace with it or something, it's even more sentimental, because I could go, oh man, I remember stamping that disc. And so that's really cool. And that motivates me to kind of keep going. When we get that feedback, that really pushes me to keep going, even when, times are tough or your workload's a lot, when people kind of feel that fire, I'll work through it. I grind it out. So,
Beautiful. Awesome. What about you, Zach?
What was that question exactly?
Sure, I got you. What about the disc golf community inspires you to serve?
So I guess the biggest thing for me that inspires me to serve is just, like Josh said, the people itself. Everyone kind of works with each other. We're our own little subculture.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'll be at my normal job, my 9 to 5, and be wearing my AGL Disc hat, and somebody will come up and be like, hey, you're a golfer? Where you golf at? Well, I've never seen this person before in my life, but they recognize disc golf, and we have a connection instantly, no matter where we are in the world.
Yeah, and you can take that anywhere.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Great answers. What are your thoughts on the current state of disc golf? Are there problems? If so, are there solutions?
Yeah, there's definitely lots of problems. I don't know, you might not have enough battery for that. I think there's a lot of things that definitely, need to be worked on and looked at. And, I think with any business or industry that has, exponential growth in a short, time period, there's definitely people that look at that as, like a gold rush situation. And I think if you look at the pandemic, a lot of people tried to take advantage of disc golf, booming at such a, fast pace.
Sure.
And I'm very thankful that we kind of established ourselves, before that. And, people that then saw us, and, I'm not going to lie, we incurred growth as well through those times. I think any disc golf company did, whether they were new, old, established or not. So I'm very thankful and appreciative of that, not gonna lie. But, I think people also saw that we had been around through the kind of hard, tough times prior to this, boom of the pandemic. And so I think that is slightly concerning when I see newer companies, and, I know I'm newer, but we have been around for over a decade. The brand itself, our people, our representatives, and so I think it concerns me a little bit when I see that, because I don't want disc golf to turn as much into this like financial cash grab situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that from a business standpoint, it does need to grow to a professional level in order for it to be taken seriously and then shown on more, national coverage with ESPN or CBS Sports. And I see that the Worlds is getting covered on CBS Sports now, and that's great. That's huge.
Yeah.
And it's taken Jomez and the national tour to work to get to that level of recognition. Why and how? That's by taking it serious. That's by focusing on the professional side of the industry. Because there is that niche market. And Zach touched on it a little bit from where he came from, and the disc golfers, the the potheads, or the guys who go drink every round. And It can be, sure. Golf could be that. Basketball, any sport, anything could be that. We could abuse, as humans, we can physically and mentally and, dependency wise, abuse any, thing or actual, event or stuff that we're doing, not just a product that we might be consuming. And so I think that it's finally getting looked at a more professional view, and that I'm happy about. But sometimes, with that comes some of, I don't want to say the riffraff, but that's just a phrase.
Egos.
Yeah, where then you do have egos, and then you have people that are like, oh man, this is growing so fast, let's see if we can make some money on it. And when you have the folks who have worked through thick and thin and put all their time, effort, and passion, true passion into it, I think that's can be translated, and I think people can see that, and I feel and I hope that that's where our growth has come from, as people that have acknowledged and then supported that growth and that passion that we have for this. That this isn't something where AGL is paying Josh Jones or Zach Holt, a cash, paycheck per week, per month, per year. Sure, we get some free stuff, but I still paid for this, I've gone to tournaments and they're like, oh, bro, are you sponsored by AGL? And I'm like, no, I paid for this. This, I paid for all this. So, and I mean, to touch a little bit on what Brody said with sponsorships, I agree with that to a degree where, we have a pretty big team, and we have, a tournament team, a media team, an ambassador team, and all in all, it's over 100 people right now for 2023. We might go a little bit less for 2024, and maybe bring on some bigger names tournament-wise, and I'm excited to see what the team captains can really work into the mix with their allowances, so to speak. But we don't force anyone on our team to throw only AGL, even if they are on a tournament level. I'm totally fine with them being open bag. I'd prefer them to throw a gateway manufacturer brand, or, with 16 molds we have now, I'm pretty sure we could fill most of your bag, and hit most of the spots that you hit on the fairway with an AGL disc. But I understand preferences. I understand brand loyalty, and you're not wanting to take something out of your bag if it works for you.
Sure.
So am I going to hold my tournament guy? Am I coming around, hey, what's in your bag every tournament? Like, no, you're in another state, And so I think there's also that kind of leeway as well, where how serious are we taking these sponsorships? Because my big thing is I really want our team to represent the sport of disc golf, and not just AGL. But if you want to be sponsored, you have to realize that you're representing something bigger than you. So definitely. It's not about your personal beliefs and your opinions and your ideas at that point. It's not about mine either. In my head, I don't think that AGL is better than any of the other manufacturers. I don't think that we're greater or better. I don't think that my plastic is better. I don't think that I can do stuff that they can do. I don't think that way. What I do think is that we're different. We're unique. We don't really care what they're doing, and we're going to do our own thing. And usually that is going to be unique and different. And that's why I do think people are looking at us, because we're trying stuff outside the box. We're doing things that most people probably wouldn't do. And hitting home with the family aspect again is just, we really want to make it that we have a group and a community of people that we support and they support us. And I think it needs to be symbiotic and mutually beneficial. Cool. So it's a huge part of the sponsorship aspect.
Sure.
So
I think some of the things that you're hitting on, I would sum it up as collaboration. It's open to collaboration, and everyone's a part of it. So if you want to be a part and collaborate, you know where to find all that good stuff. So, what are our thoughts on the future of disc golf?
Well, I hope, and I really hope, that even with the growth of the sport, that there will always be a free aspect, because that's what got me involved in it. That's what I think the major difference between us and ball golf is anybody can go out and just throw a frisbee, and that's the best part about it.
That's right. There's levels. You can enter anywhere. It goes as deep as you want to go.
I can't hit a ball. I've tried.
I hope it stays like that too. What are your
funny.
thoughts?
I think that, it's probably going to keep going to become more and more professional and mainstream. I think that the companies are going to start taking a more professional, kind of more clean look to them and get away from, unfortunately, and as much as this sucks, because even I that come from that grassroots mentality, I think it is going to get away from that to a degree. But I think that there's still going to be that side where it is free, and there's still going to be courses that are free, they're community, or county parks where it is free to come play. You might not see that community or city park disc golf course be a tournament level course. You might have those become more of a situation like this where it is a pay to play.
Sure.
And I understand that from a business standpoint, because
it gives us options too.
Well,
I mean, there's so much out there just in our local arena here. I'd say I hope those experiences continue.
Yes.
That would be my answer. Is like, I hope that there's opportunity for the pay to play, go have a weekend in Ireland somewhere in Europe. I'm here. I'd love to wind up there.
Yeah.
But I hope that experience is there, and I also do hope that the pitch and putt at your local little community park is also there for people.
100%.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll move on here to the last question I've got.
Shoot it.
What does the future of AGL look like?
Ooh, I don't know. I would leave it to the team and the team captains and the fans to really steer the direction of that ship. All I know and all I can commit to is that I'm all in, and I'm not gonna give up. And I think that as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, and we have a good group of people around us that keep doing what they're doing and supporting that end all be all goal, which is like, hey, let's make AGL one of these top brands that can grow in the size of I don't think we're ever going to be as big as Innova or Discraft. I just don't think that. But at the same time, there's so many pieces to this pie. I'm fine with the crumbs. I'm totally fine with the crumbs, because it gives me that ability to still be personable and have that interpersonal relationship with our team, with our collaborators, with our manufacturer. I mean, I get to fly out and go, hey guys, I want the Frisbee to look and feel like this, and I've done that twice now, where I've gone out to Missouri just to go, hey, this is what I want, because of the team going, this is what we want. And so I think that as long as I can commit to me ensuring the team that, like, I'm not gonna sway from that path of making sure that AGL is successful, I'd love for it to be something that I could retire from. And I was able to kind of quit my 9 to 5 and focus fully on AGL. But at the same time, there's times of the year where disc golf isn't as prominent or sales aren't as prevalent. So sometimes you got to find some alternative source of income, seasonal work, something like that. And so I think that just again brings it back to my commitment for not only my disc golf family but my own family. And so I need to make sure that they're going to be okay, and part of that is making sure AGL is okay. And so they're so interconnected and intertwined now that I can't see one being successful without the other, and I couldn't see one ultimately failing without the other one failing. And so as a father, as a husband, and as a business owner, I really need to make sure that those stay together. And that's my commitment. And so I love my wife, I love my daughter, and I love the community and the friends and family that we've developed. So it like I said earlier, it just motivates me to keep going.
Awesome.
I hope I can.
Sounds like bright things, man.
I hope so.
That's all really good stuff.
New molds, new plastic, and a constantly growing team. I think that's all I could ever really ask for. Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Well, there we go. That is the list of questions. Hopefully you guys soaked up as much as we did from this experience. Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah.
Zach, you want to lead us out?
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan, for having us on the channel. We appreciate you and the community and everyone out there that's helping grow the sport in AGL and just everything that is disc golf. We love it, and we just hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out all the other videos on our channels. Like and subscribe and do all those things.
We'll see you next time.
Appreciate it.